Welcome to another Pick a Pile reading. Today I have the intention once again to do a classic, so I'm gonna focus on your person's feeling, thinking, and next action they are planning toward you. So what they're feeling about you, what they think of your relationship or even about you, and what do they plan next, if they plan anything at all. Let's just see where they are at towards your connection. So this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Take the time you need to choose your pile. You can pause if you want, but without further ado, I will start with pile 1. So welcome, pile 1. This is your pick a card reading. So we are going to be looking at how your person feel, what they think, and what are their actions towards you. This is for the curious one, this is the Sacred Bee, and the Journey of the Sacred Bee Tarot. I will probably link in the description if you're interested in this tarot deck. Really beautiful one, by the way. So I'm really curious to know. So Spirit, please tell me what the pile 1 person is feeling about pile 1. What are they feeling towards pile 1 right now? And remember, energy are always shifting, so this may not apply like in 10 months from now. It might not be the same, or even in 1 week from now. We are really just looking at a frame in time on how they are actually feeling. And also, I try to be quite specific, or to focus on really on 1 or 2 scenarios at best. Oh god. Because I don't like when readings get so general that anyone can apply their situation to the reading. So it gets, I know it's a general reading, but I mean, there's general and they're so broad it becomes inaccurate. So my goal is to try to be accurate. So I start with 3, so this will be, no, still how they feel, what they think of this situation. And the action they intend on taking. Bottom deck is the Tower reversed, and the top deck is 5 of Cups, Disappointment, with Scorpio in Mars. I love this deck for that. So I'm gonna go back to how they feel right now. Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands reversed, the 8 of Swords reversed, the Temperance or Alchemy reversed in this deck, and the Star upright. For what they think of this relationship, we have Judgment reverse, Princess of Wands or Page of Wands, Nine of Pentacles reversed, and Four of Cups reversed. And their action, or what they intend to do next. We got Nine of Swords, Ace of Cups, Knight of Wands reversed, and Nine of Cups reversed. Okay, so... Okay. From what I do see from your situation right now, I mean, the general energy is Tower reversed. So I do get there was a breakdown in your relationship not so long ago. I could say there is also a desire to prevent a tower, but I do feel with all those cards that the tower already happened in this relationship. Something didn't work out. I don't see this as necessarily just conflict, but just an abrupt end, or just a lot of frustration though. I guess more from your side than their side. And in the 5D, so as in this 5D for me is just referring as the higher purpose, or the higher, how to say that? The higher plane of this relationship. What we may not see, but we can feel, or our intuition can perceive. We got the Five of Cups. I do see that there was a failure in changing something in the relationship. And this is why the Tower happened, because it needed to happen at some point. Something was... I do think the relationship... I have a mixed bag. I'm pretty sure this file will be about either a recent breakup or a situationship that failed to grow, and that simply everything crumbled down. Everything seized. Or for now, at least, they seized. And there's a lot of disappointment. And I do feel that energetically you might feel a separation, or you do feel the link between you and your person being very weak, or even for some of you, you feel like it stopped abruptly and that there's nothing left but disappointment and sadness. So I do feel that in any case, it's a relationship where that reached some form of conclusion. And I do feel for most of you, you are the one who told them you were totally unsatisfied with how things were moving. And I do feel for most of you, your person is more of a feminine energy, and by that I don't mean they're the divine feminine, but I mean, I do feel they were more passive, receptive, or I do feel even they might be extremely passive in some regards. Even when it comes to their action, I will come to them. I do see the Knight of Wands reversed. And with the Nine of Cups reversed, I do feel they are, really sad, but not planning to move forward. Like if they lacked any kind of energy or flame to move forward. I do feel like they're totally unsatisfied with how things developed or how things ended. I do feel that they would like things to be different, but as in acting, I don't think they... the Knight of Wands here is really telling me right now, at the moment we're talking, they don't plan on reaching out or coming to you for now, even though there's still an Ace of Cups there, so I do feel they would like to offer a new beginning, but I don't think they are intending on acting on it because they're way too scared. Like, they're really desperate there. They don't think that if they act and offer you something right now, you will accept it. They are pretty self-defeating about it. I will maybe come back to this point, but I wanted to start with how they feel, but I do think the Knight of Wands is really the one thing I'm seeing is this lack of forward movement, not the desire to not to, but right now they are in a space where they're way too hesitant to make a move. And with this Tower reverse and disappointment, or Five of Cups and the 5D, I do see that they don't see any reason why they should move forward right now or try anything. As in their feelings, we got the Eight of Wands reversed and the Eight of Swords both there, sitting next to each other with Alchemy reversed. The one positive thing they're feeling though is a star, so they still have hope, they still care for you, they still really wish, even with the Nine of Cups reversed in action, I think they really wish for things to be different. I think they really idealize even the relationship or you. I do think they see you as a star or some kind of hope in their life. But with all the other cards, with Alchemy, especially Temperance reverse, I do feel like they sense they are out of touch with you or out of balance. I do feel they feel the conflict. They feel conflicted. They feel right now like if you were opposite right now. It's really a feeling of, they feel extremely agitated inside though. And with the Eight of Swords reverse and the Eight of Wands, I do feel there's a lot of repressed energy, but a lot of anxiety, but not, I mean, the Eight of Swords upright in those circumstances will tell someone who is blinded but and trapped in their mind, but now I see that it's not that they're blinded, like they see what's the problem, but they feel trapped anyway, especially with the Eight of Wands reverse. They see only obstacles and they don't see how things could simply come together. Even though they will be hopeful, I do think they know it's unrealistic of them to wish for something like that, and this is why in their action we can see the Nine of Cups reversed. They feel like, it's like they both feel hopeful and hopeless. That's a bit how they feel. They wish things were different. They wish there could be something different, new, empowered in this relationship, but they think that they can do that, they can accomplish that right now. And as what they're thinking with Judgment reversed, it's like they do think that it can be helped. There's a powerlessness there. Like, it can be helped, things can change. I do think the reason why they feel so powerless is like they don't see how things could be different, how or what they could make in this, or what, I mean, they don't see what could be changed in their relationship right now. Um, with the prince, no, I will come for the Princess of Wands afterward. They also think they might not be worthy of you. That's like a classic when someone is feeling like that. They do see you at least like a princess or someone deserving of a higher degree. And they do feel like you could have a better cup than them. Because they can't change. And they can't move forward. And they tried their best, but it wasn't enough for the Princess of Wands. You needed more. That's how they perceive it. I do think for some of you, they perceive you as someone who had high expectation or were a bit princessy in what you expected, so they don't see how they could do otherwise because they think your standards are way too high for what they can offer you, or way too high or too different from what they think they can or want to offer you. It feels a bit delusional even. I wouldn't say for all of you that your person is blaming you or perceiving you have too high expectation. I do feel a lot of you, your person is kind of the feeling I have is something very, very passive, really stuck in their mind and in their feels, but not really good at taking action or doing forward movement. They're the kind to be dreamy, a bit of the gamer or artist kind. Um, really feel like someone with low self-esteem that tend to play victim at their worst. Victim blaming as well, and seeing you as too demanding. Even though I do think as you're represented by the Princess of One, I don't think your standards are that high. I do think what you will be asking from them is just the bare minimum to make a relationship be better or go further down the road. And I see, this is why I see a lot of disappointment, and it comes mostly from you than from them. It's like you're the most active one in this relationship. More fiery, active, taking actions, having plan, idea, the most social one, and they are the more introvert. I don't think for most of you are that much an extrovert, but I do think you're still some kind of social person. And I do think the person you are inquiring about is not the kind to be very social. And that was one part of the problem. Like never accepting to do something with you because you wanted to, well, invite friends or do something like maybe going hiking or going for a walk or visiting some places, and they were never willing to follow through because they were way too comfortable in their little home place, and they really liked your presence. You were literally some form of sunshine probably, or like a fiery presence, but you're disappointed because they didn't want to change. And I mean, you can't expect someone to change, but I mean, I guess you saw that they had unhealthy habits, but they were unwilling to let them go, to improve. I don't think you expected them from stopping from being introverted or a gamer or an artist or someone very into their mind, but you did expect them to be able to, I mean, be more functional. I think that's the word. And I do think your person might be, for some of you, they probably got depression as well, or a mental illness in those fashion. Not necessarily depression, but in a depressive state or really a lethargic space. And I don't think it is really treated Or no, it must be treated for some of you, but I mean, for some of you, I think the frustration is they take their pills, but they don't do the internal work required for depression to really heal. And this is what really annoys you, because you do like them, you do want something with them, but they are really stuck in like an unmovable object. So, of course, I do think for some of you, you're here because you wanted to see if they could finally move their ass and do something about it, but they won't. For now. At least in the energy I see in the next week, let's say, I don't see them going forward, and I do think it might take a lot of time. I do think this is the kind of person that will not move, that will complain about their whole existence, cry the loss of the relationship, and then 8 months later or a year later be like, oh, I miss you, and like reach you out at the worst time when you will have moved on. And you will be like, seriously, after all this time, now that you came and tell me you want something with me? Too late. This is how you feel, or this is how it feels like. This is that kind of scenario where I'm not really seeing anything really hopeful about this person specifically. With the energy I'm having for most of you, this person won't move for a while. They don't have their, how to say, it's still reversed. For the relationship it happened, but for them, the reason why it's reversed is also because they refuse to go through the tower moment, and it caused your relationships to stay at the same place and not evolve at all. I do feel for a lot of you, you're quite young, like a young couple, like early 20s at best for most of you. And I do think a lot of you were in a relationship with them for like 2-3 years. Some of you it was like a year, or and some of you, like for the older people here, like 20 and higher, I do feel like it was more like someone you were getting to know, or a friend where you had an interest, but since they didn't change, or they keep resisting that change, you ask them if it was like it's a bit me or it's your lifestyle, and they chose their lifestyle, and you were very disappointed about that. Like, God, I like you as a friend, but as a boyfriend or as a girlfriend, it's a big nope. For some of you, for most of you, I do see it's more than a young man, but there's some, for a few of you, you're here for a woman, but really, I really feel a classic, like, social woman, social go-getter woman, masculine woman for me, but I mean, that's my terms. You do whatever you want. Not masculine in the sense you wear like boy clothes. I do think most of you have a sense of style and are even pretty feminine in how you show yourselves, but you are a go-getter and you expect much more from life than being with someone with so low energy and so low vibration, even though you care for this person. So I'm gonna just take some advice for you, pile 1, sorry. So some advice or some energy coming for you. Have faith in your dreams in the bottom deck there. Oh, and a new romantic cycle begins close. I mean, you can see there was that card just behind, and I want to show you. I don't think it will be with this person, if you want me to be really honest. With what I'm feeling, I don't think this is a relationship that can be harvested for most of you. Of course, if this person will actually act like in like 2 weeks, if this, I do think you should go and see if this person actually change their mind, which can happen in some, for some of you it could. Don't think it will be the majority of you, but for some person, this person might choose to take their life into their hand and do something about it and make a change in the month to come. But to be honest, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Yes, so I told you, there nothing will come of this situation, that's for sure. Pile 1, I don't think you should expect, for most of you, for the ones for who this pile resonates like almost 100%, this person is not going to change, or if they are, it will take time. So, determination. I think you are very aware of that, of this lack of movement, sweetness, and abundance. Caution about what? Space. Yes, you're warned about this. This will, for like, I do think mainly there's nothing that will come out of this situation more than this. Honestly, this person, this breakup, if you were here to and wondering if you could expect any change or if you wanted validation, that was actually the end, and the validation of why you felt so disconnected from this person, here you have it, because this person is just slowing you down. They might be a sweetheart, but right now they're not doing the change to get to that sweetness they have. So the advices are to look at the bigger picture, and prosperity lies ahead. I do think Spirit wants you to focus more on some goals you have, especially concerning career, your career, or your or school, or your actual work. For some of you, it is about traveling and your like bigger plans than um, like your where you want to venture. Like for some of you, I do think there's an expansion you want to make and you weren't sure because this person was either a friend or just recently a breakup with them or something like that. So this is probably one of the reasons you asked them or told them, if you don't move or change, or if you don't follow me on this one, that's at the end for us. Oh, so really follow your goals, be determined to follow that. I do think you have a lot coming. I saw new romantic cycles, but I don't think it will be close. I do think it will be when you like focus on the thing you wanted to focus on, those goals, and a new relationship will come. And I do think in some months, like 6 months for this to grow, and maybe in 8 or 9 months, I keep having 8 and 9 in my mind, you might see another potential partner coming into your life. So I hope it resonated, and thank you for watching. If you don't resonate, of course, you can also pick another pile. So see you another time. Bye. So this is pile 2. So this will be your reading. We'll see what your person is feeling and thinking and what they are intending to do toward your relationship. So, by the way, this is the Shadowrun Sixth World Tarot deck. I haven't seen it much on YouTube or any other place. This is my first deck. So it got a particular place in my heart. I might try to see where to find it. So, without further ado, I will focus on your reading and on your energy, pile 2. this card as well. I will take it. So, okay. So, this row is how they feel, this is how they think, and this is the action they are taking or are planning to take. Hmm. So, so for what they feel, we got Page of Cups, Queen of Cups, Ten of Cups reversed, Four of Buttons, so Four of Wands. For what they think, we got the World reversed, the Queen of Coins, the Tower reversed, and the Wheel of Fortune. For what they intend to do, we got Six of Cups reversed, the Hangman, the Moon, the Hermit, and Three of Wands reversed. As a general energy, we got the Knight of Coins reversed, and as a spiritual or 5D energy, so something you might not see but is around, or the greater plan for what's going on, we got Death. So rapidly, I do see that your relationship, you are in a relationship with that person, or maybe not for all of you. I'm generalizing there. I know it's a general reading, but I like to be kind of precise. I do think for most of you, you are in a relationship with that person. For some of you, you've been dating each other for a while, that's for sure. But as a general energy with the Knight of Coins reverse, it has stagnates. It is stagnating right now. There's a lack of movement, there's a lack of improvement. It's like if things were just freeze or frozen, sorry. But like, it's like if you were in the part of your relationship where it's like, not boring, but there's a lack of something in the relationship, or there's a lack of forward movement or forward commitment. For those who are not in a relationship right now, I do think your person doesn't know or isn't committing or are avoiding to commit right now. But I do think for most of you, you are in a relationship, in a long-term relationship with that person for a while. And now you have hit some roadblocks and nothing is moving. The reason why I think it's mostly a relationship that has been going for a while is also because of how they feel and what they think and their actions. I mean, they do really love you, pile 2. I think that's pretty obvious for me. Like, they really, really, really love you. And we got the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups. I do think they still have this butterfly in stomach feelings for you. Like, you're really their Queen of Cups. You're really a person they love and cherish. And also as how they feel about you, they see you as someone who is very caring, compassionate, and intuitive, and really, how to say, really, I'm lacking the word there, but tender with them. Yes. You're really sweet. And they still have those rosy feelings for you. And especially with the Four of Wands there, it's like, I mean, they still have that fire for you. And for people where it's more a newer relationship, well, I do think we could say they really have fallen in love with you. It's not just some crush feelings. I do think it's really love feeling, like really feeling an intimacy with you, a connection, a deep connection with you. So something that have been, how to say that? deepen. With the Ten of Cups reversed, this is, I do see, though, not necessarily towards you, but I do feel there's some unhappiness in the relationship. They do care about you, they do love you. It's a solid, I mean, there's a solid foundation there. If you're not in a committed relationship, they do see it's very, I mean, they got everything for it to ground itself. But there's a certain unhappiness lying. And for most of you, it's not about you. It's not that they feel unhappy with you, but they do feel quite an unhappiness in the relationship. I do feel that they believe maybe there is a question of self-worth in that card specifically, because in this Ten of Cups there, usually in the upright position, it's a man covering a woman's eye, and he wants to surprise her with the fact he got a promotion. I don't think we can see clearly. And he wants to surprise her with all the supper and just like enjoying a good time with her. Reversed, I feel like they believe they lack a certain something to offer you. Like, it's all pretty, but do they have can they offer you something to make this happiness or this love last? So there is some self-worth issues around. For some of you, they just feel like they disappointed you, or that they feel you might be sad or not as happy in their relationship. So they might feel, and if you're here, maybe that's because there is some lack of, you're not content with your relationship right now. And they do notice it, they do feel it, and they do attribute it to them. I don't think it's all a them fault, like it's not necessarily all on their shoulders. Maybe for some few of you, you might be or might have really high or too high standards, and by too high, I really mean like you put the bar so high that nobody could get to that. It's important to have high standards, that's not the point. But some people self-sabotage by putting so much high standards that nobody can ever attain them. So for some few of you, I do think they feel like they can't really attain that. But for most of you, I do feel there's some self-worth, or they feel or they believe that you are not as happy in the relationship as you could, because they can provide you what they think you deserve, or for how much they feel they don't have the impression they can give you that. Though it's not the most prominent feelings, they do have a lot of love for you. They do feel like you are the one. Like, they do see, I mean, their feelings are really rosy for you. Really, you're like the woman of their life. They're ready to going through anything, but I really feel this little something is really bothering them right now. They do sense something, and it's quite, yeah, it's bothering them. And in to what they think, yeah, it's again the same pattern there. They do feel stuck, or they do feel the relationship is stuck into a circle, in just a matter of time before it crumbles. Like, it's just a matter of time before literally the wheel turns to against you, because in this deck it's literally, well, you can see a gun, and I don't remember the terms in English for this game with you know, this, and I do think it's a matter of time before it triggers and the bullet comes out of it and everything just crumbles down. And I do think, again, they do see you as this I do think, again, it's about high standards. Like, you are really You don't want less than what you deserve, which is, I mean, right. And they do think you also that you do not deserve less than that. But they do see you're stuck into a pattern for some of you, for the ones who are believing you have too high standards or unachievable standards. I do think it's a matter of time before those standards just make the relationship explode because they can't attain that and have no single damn cue on how to do that. They are just worried, and I don't see swords there, but with the tower reverse there and the wheel, and this wheel especially of fortune just so close to it, I feel they are very much aware and their thoughts are really much on how many times left before this crumbles. For some of you, it might just be self-sabotage stuff and they're seeing a problem where there is none. And they really believe it can't last. It's too good to be true. You're really like this perfect for woman or feminine or partner for them. I don't think for all of you it might be a man. It really doesn't matter. I do feel though they see you quite as a feminine figure. So being really into your feminine power. But I do believe from what I see, your partner is not also the most masculine in their trait. They look to be quite sensitive, but not in the typical overly sensitive, but just kind of cautious and really aware of people's needs and like really emotionally. Yeah, emotionally aware. That's the best term I can come to. So I don't think either of you are extremely the most into the masculinity. I do think you're both a kind of partnership who are both quite like a certain a certain calm and receptivity, and you're both extremely sensitive people. Um, Receptive is the best term. Anyway, if you wanted further confirmation, it could be your relationship or not. But yeah, for what they're thinking, they just see it as the time ticking and just a bomb waiting to explode down there. Because you might be too good to be true, or for some of you, you have so much high standards, maybe because they can't achieve those standards, even if those high standards could be the bare minimum. They just see it as a question of time before they lose it. Or, oh, okay, yeah, for some of you, for some few of you, they are scared of you exploding at some point. Like, you are all calm and being happy because you're living your greatest life. But when you will fall down from your cloud, it will just explode and you will be really unhappy about it. For some of you, for some few of you. What the action they intend on doing is quite a lot of reflection. I do think your person is extremely serious about your relationship. I do see them being quite mature. I got the Hermit with the Moon and the Hangman with the Six of Cups. They're really trying to see things differently and finding a way around these issues, and they really are taking the time to introspect themselves, to see their own fears, to see how they perceive the situation, to take the time to really see their part in this situation, to see what they can do, to see how they can feel. So I do think they are actively sorry, Pine 3. I do think they are actively actively thinking about the solution, actively seeking solution. So their action is not concrete in the sense of offering you something, communicating with you. I do think they're in communication with you anyway, but I don't think they talk about the issues that much. They really take the time to introspect themselves. They really take the time to be sensitive towards your need as well, to be receptive. Um, So there's more in a waiting mode to see how things are evolving and to get the big pictures on the situation, which I think is a smart move. And also we got death in the 5D that I didn't, even in this death card, which is quite unique, we see it's like a sniper. So I think there's again this wait for a sudden change or something coming out of nowhere. I do think for most of you, your person is just scared that you will leave them because they have some self-worth issues. And for them, it's just a matter of time before you leave them. So if you were worried if their person wanted to leave you, no. It's just because they're scared of losing you. But in the 5D, death is just announcing a transformation in this relationship. For people that were like, God damn it, it's just stuck and nothing is happening, and like, I'm waiting for more. For some of you, it might just be marriage. I mean, for the ones who are committed since a long term, and why they're still not doing the move is simply because maybe they're scared you will reject that offer, or because you seem very comfortable as it is, and they might be scared to come further down the road with something more. Or maybe some of you were just against that idea, so they don't want to come with that and push you or put pressure on you. But I do feel for most of you, your person is simply worried, and the reason why they have gone really silent or maybe not as demonstrative, or I do think there's a reflection period and what to offer you that will impress you and will keep you by their side and to continue this relationship with you. So if you're not engaged yet or not in a committed relationship yet, I do think they're just planning to do it in the right way. But I do see them wanting to come with further commitment, but right now it's stuck because, yeah, they're just planning how to innovate in your relationship, how to upgrade and not just do as you already know and do something different, new. And as a matter of time, if you're like, yeah, well, it's been a while since it's like this and nothing is quite moving, or the relationship is a bit stagnant, not necessarily in a bad way, I think, for most of you. Just like that can happen in a relationship where it's just being in a slow and steady pace. But you have felt your partner being more maybe detached or away from the relationship. For some of you, they might be avoiding the relationship by going through work a lot. But they don't do this because they aren't satisfied with the relationship. As I said, it's really more they are questioning how to move forward, how to prove their commitment to you next. As a matter of time, I can tell it can take a long time still. Because the hangman, the moon, and the hermit are three major arcana. Um, and we got two water element, one earth element. It's not really fast energies there. And with the six of cups, we just got the three of wands here, but it's reverse. So I do think it might take some months at the very least. So if you were wondering for further commitment, especially to get married, it will take much more time. And for some few of you, it could happen in the Pisces season, because we got the hangman and the moon there, and they are pretty much associated to Pisces for me. And they have been reflecting since September about it, so it has been in the process for a while. It will not be the case for everyone. For some of you, it's a fresh introspection they have been through, but I do think it have been a while since this. I mean, for the Knight of Coins to be reversed, it's been a while since it's stagnating and thing has changed and seems to not move quite much. But yeah, I don't think it's bad news. It's really good news. They just want to commit more, and they do feel a lot for you. They do love you, pile 2. They do see you as their partner for life. They do see you as this one person they want, but they might be scared of losing you, and this is scaring them, but they're doing the work about it because they know it's their fear, and they know that fear is what makes things stagnant right now for most of you. There was one other scenarios though. I don't think it's the rosy for everyone. There's just another scenario I want to mention briefly. For some of you, I've mentioned that they perceive you having really high standards, but like unrealistic standard. And I do think they are withholding from the relationship because of this, because it makes them much more anxious, much more reserved, much more on guard towards you. For people that resonate with, you have really high expectation, you're really high maintenance, you have extremely difficult and high standards, especially when it comes to being proven you're loved, and you want to be proved by material gain or by being given gifts or being complimented or being like, you really are, if I use my words, I know, sorry, but a bit demanding on that regard. They have pull off because it feels like it's too much, and it's a matter of time before they will crumble under this pressure. Even though they really love you or like you, they feel like you are maybe hard to satisfy, and they think that's a matter of time before the relationship comes to an end because it might be too much. And I will just mention, for people that relate of being really high maintenance and asking for this much opulence, and I will say your advice is maybe to question you, because being so much in superficial kind of stuff to be proven your love is kind of, it's talking about your own self-esteem issues, and you are sabotaging a good relationship just because you feel they're not proving to you they love you, just because they don't give you gifts or they don't compliment you on your appearances, and which is really really superficial, let's say like that. That is not how they prove themselves. If you really want a man that is like that, this is not your a man, sorry, not the sort of man. If you don't want a partner that is like that, maybe this person is not for you, even though they do look like a good green flag for me. A really introspective person, really mature, really concerned about you. So this is just for people that resonate with that part. This is just really an isolated scenario for some of you. So let's get some advices for you, pile 2. So we got luck is on your side, bring love into the situation, and a fiery climax is approaching, with a time for healing in the reverse. Not in the reverse, what the hell I'm saying. And the bottom deck. And a win-win outcome is forecast just below that, so that's quite interesting. I will come to that really soon. We got faith, movement, happiness. Okay, that's really good news with determination. I just got good news for you in this relationship and as advice. Well, the advices are quite clear. They just ask you to have faith in this relationship and in the process, because I do think there's a lot of forward movement that will be coming. And it might be, for a lot of you, it can be they will make this decision around in the Pisces season, or the Pisces season will bring them this more intuition they needed. And in near April, so in the Aries season, they will come forward with something more to commit to you. Of course, it won't be for everyone. It is a really specific timing, and I do think, and I forgot, this is a timeless reading, so it might not apply for people. This season might have already been passed, but anyway, I do think they need to go in this Pisces energy and then they will come. I mean, it's the natural course of thing. After going into this Pisces energy, they will go into an Aries energy, which means after going into an introspective energy, they will rush forward and will act upon this new revelation they got. And for an advice for you, well, they ask you to bring love into this situation. So you're seen, you are presented as a Queen of Cups, and I do think for most of you, you do have this sensitivity, and you do are a really receptive kind of person. Keep being loving to them and not too demanding on them. Just be there for them, and this will help them go through this period of deep introspection and deep reflection, so they will come out of it. Oh yes, also I keep having I just forgot, for some of you, if you were just worried while your person was I mean, for some of you, you were just worried because your person is working a lot and wondering about their feelings and having some insecurities, but you really don't have to worry. I don't think for all of you are expecting more engagement there. You just feel more their absence, so just keep being loving to them. You have nothing to worry. They might be just stuck in work right now and they don't enjoy their time there anyway. And by work, it may be a project as well, but in the material world, it can be a project like in their garage or literally at their work, or yeah, it could be anything in those regards, but really stuck in the material world. Um, but luck is in your side. I mean, with the Wheel of Fortune there, even though it's not the most I will say it's a kind of threatening Wheel of Fortune. Luck is on your side, so I don't think there will be this blip coming out of it and the tower moment happening. I do think things are really playing into your favor. And as an advice, I do think you don't have much to do, but just continue being caring to them, having faith in what they're coming, and you will just have a happy surprise. For now, it's a time of healing, as I'm seeing there. It's just a moment where things are healing emotionally, things are placing it themselves, and you will have a win-win outcome in your relationship. In the sense, you will both be happy or happier in your relationship. Both of you, by being this receptive person and being caring for your partner when they're going into a tough time, will be rewarding for you. So like I said, for some of you, it's probably marriage or another kind of engagement. I can't, I mean, there's too much possibilities there. For some of you might already be married with this person, but I do think they plan on making a surprise to maybe renew their vow or to honor their vows or something in those. But I do think you will be pretty happy in just a phase of transformation for your relationship. Your relationship is renewing them itself. For those of you who aren't in a relationship, well, it's coming to the next stage for most of you. I really do think that. So that's what I have for you, pile 2. Yes, determination and flow. Just go with the flow. So this is what I have for you, pile 2. So have a great day, and I hope you resonated, or else you can always go take another pile or just go see another reading. So have a great day. Maybe see you next time. Bye bye. So hi there, pile 3. This is your reading. So I'm going to proceed to see what your person is feeling, thinking, and what are their next action towards your relationship or your situationship. Remember, this might not resonate, and don't make it force if you don't see yourself or you don't recognize your situation. You can choose another pile, or you can just go see another and watch another reading. Oh god, I hate when they are... Sorry, pile 3. I hate when there is some... I forgot the word, dirt on my cards. So this is the Starchild Tarot for those wondering. Sorry for the light. So what are they? Feeling, thinking. Action. Thinking. Feeling, thinking. Oh, here you go. Oh, interesting. I forgot one card. I took 5 cards for the other pile. Sorry, pile 3, it's taking so long. You can simply forward the videos if you want at this point. Oh, why I'm taking another? Okay, I'm gonna take another. 4 of Wands, reversed. I do think you were in a separation with your person. I'm gonna repeat that for the one who forwarded for. Oh God. Okay. I think I took I took 4 for the other pile, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I took 5 for you guys, so you're privileged. As I was saying, I do think there's a separation in your connection. I do think you, with the 4 of Wands reversed, the Lovers reversed, and the High Priestess reversed, I do feel you are in, really in a state of not knowing what's next in this relationship, or if there's anything next. But I do feel that this is an important connection, and you do feel extremely connected to that person, even though you're not in contact with them. For some few of you, I do feel that you might not know this person, but you're feeling the energy. You're feeling them coming towards you, but you have no clue who that is. But I do think for most of you, you know, because you're here, because you are wondering about a certain person. So with the first row is how they feel, this is how they think, and the last row is their action, their planning action. So this person might look like they felt confident, but they aren't. They look like they knew where they were going, but they didn't. So what they feel toward the connection, there's a lot of repressed feelings toward you with the Moon and the King of Cups reversed. I do feel that with the Six of Wands, they show that they are confident in their ways of approaching you, or the way they approached you, or the way they dealt with the situation, but they weren't. With the Moon and the Magician reverse, they are clearly lacking a lot of confidence in this relationship. Not in this relationship, but a lot of confidence in themselves and how to handle you. Because they feel a tremendous amount of feelings for you. But for them it feels like there is no issues. Like they can't do anything for it. With the Three of Wands reversed here, I do feel like they're contemplating but have no clue how to move forward. And I think they feel like they don't have the tools to move it forward. And I do think they got a facade, like, on their feelings. I do think they project that they are detached. They do project that they don't care that much. They do project a lot of stuff. But this is not how they feel. I do think you scare them because you reach something very sensitive deep down. I do think they feel a lot with the King of Cups. I do think they feel some form of love or intimacy at the very least, which I think is more appropriate. They do feel connected to you, like they feel like they can have an intimate connection with you, and I do think it scares them because they don't feel like they are worth it, even though they act like, maybe they acted like they deserve all your love, but deep down they felt unworthy of it. So we got someone here who their feelings are extremely repressed. Oh, yeah, they are extremely repressed. Sorry, by 3 I had to pause, so I'm a bit confused on where I was. But I was about to conclude on their feelings and them being guarded and not letting show that they cared. I do think they might have looked like, not necessarily a player, but a bit playerish in their manner. I do think they might not be the most emotionally available person out there for having the Moon, the King of Cups reversed, and the Magician reversed. They just put a, like, smoke show on how they feel. They let on something different from what they feel. So if you were wondering what they are really truly feeling deep down, I don't think I can go see myself what they are feeling, but they do care way more than they let it on. Way more. And I do think you reach a part in them that scares them. And that's why they repress it, and probably one of the reasons why they disappear out of your life. It might be a classic case of ghosting, or starting to be hot and cold and then not like messaging you much anymore at all, and you're wondering what happened. Well, you touched something sensitive, a sensitive spot. You went through that ego of them, and they acted defensive. Sorry, and they acted defensive. So, though I wouldn't, I haven't read the other cards yet, but I'm pretty sure just seeing this scenario, it just feel like I wouldn't recommend you to wait for them. And anyway, with the Four of Wands reversed and their Lovers reversed, I do think you can do your life and shouldn't worry too much on them. I do think Spirit is just planning to send you back at the right time. Famous case of, or infamous case of divine timing. Ooh. But does sound like it. So, so yeah, if you want further confirmation on your person, yeah, someone who is emotionally a bit repressed. I don't think it's the classic masculine kind of person. I do feel, for once, they might not be the most extroverted person out there. Maybe a bit artsy for some of you. Yeah, with an artistic side, but I wouldn't go as far as to say they made a career out of it. Classic guitar player, or for some of you visual arts, but doesn't seem like for most of you. And I wouldn't tell right now what they really do in life, but I do think they got this artsy side, or maybe con artist aspect to them, but not in the typical fashion way. More so in being like this kind of artist or sensitive person that likes to use their sensitivity sometimes to appeal to people or to people please. Yeah, but they are the kind to be really prideful. Really, their pride seems to be not a problem, but a funny aspect, I will say, of them. Something you might cherish, I think. You can find it funny, and that may be part of the reason why they felt so out of balance, because you weren't, you didn't take that side too seriously, and they were like, what? He didn't succeed to intimidate you, and that might have taken them off guard. And one of the reasons they felt so connected, because you could see further than this facade they put. So yeah, what they think? Well, with the Eight of Swords there, they do feel extremely anxious. They do block themselves. They do believe they need time apart from you, because you really create a lot of anxieties within them. I don't think it's fully conscious, though, that they did purposefully take a time apart to calm their anxieties, but I do think they know deep down they did that because you were creating a lot of anxieties, because a lot of their issues were resurfacing because of, well, you being you. And I do think they try not to think about it. With the Ten of Swords reverse, the Four of Swords, like, they don't want to think about it. They don't want to invest with the Ten of Crystals or Ten of Pentacles too much of thought, because it's burning them away. Ace of Wands, they really block that energy, even though it's something really inside of them and really working them from inside. And if I go a bit deep down in what they don't want to think about is, I do think deep down they can see a potential for something solid there, and it scares them a lot. They do need to think about it, and they do, a part of them, I will say more their higher self, know they need now to heal something, or to take the time to meditate on their inside. However, it is the Four of Swords, not the Hermit. So it's just the first step towards this. But they do believe, for some of you, it was just a flame, a passionate outburst, and now it is ended. But for some reason, they keep thinking about it. They keep thinking about it, even though they try to convince themselves that it was just a fun time, a nice moment, you were a really hot person, but it couldn't last. Like, they're really trying to convince themselves on something that I don't think is really true. I think they really try to repress the depth of the situation. Really a classic case there. I really feel like it's a typical no contact thing of being in contact with someone who is emotionally unavailable, but you meeting them is what will make them wake up. I have no clue if you will end up with this person, though. Not from what I'm seeing, just like that. But with the Lovers and the Four of Wands, you will probably meet them again in some fashion for some reason. I don't think it's the end. For some of you, it's the case of a twin flame, but you're in the separation stage. Like, not all of you will be. I don't think it's, for most of you, it doesn't feel like all that much of a twin flame. I mean, not everyone have a twin flame, and I will not like to. I mean, you don't want to have a twin flame. That's what I have learned so far. It's not fun to have a twin flame. You go on a really hard and painful journey. So it's mimicking something in that regard for a lot of you. It makes them go, or it challenges them to go within. Will they succeed that challenge? Well, God knows. I have no clue for now. Not with the pictures I have right now. It's not what I was taking for anyway. I will recommend or advise going for a reading to that will investigate what's next in this connection, to be honest with what I'm saying. I will be worried about that. But yeah, what do they plan? Well, I do think they do plan to come back, strangely. Even though they try not to think about it, they might think it is ended. But Five of Swords reversed, I think it's like coming back on their decision, like admitting that their victory of ghosting you and then protecting their ego is a bit dumb. So reverse as an action, it's like admitting that they were a bit dumb on that. And with the Seven of Wands, and especially that Seven of Wands, it's like they're looking for an opportunity to kind of, and we can see again a connection with the Six of Wands there. They are waiting to be in their best, like confident masquerade role before coming and being like, hey, hi there, Pile 3, how are you doing? I mean, they really plan to, but they haven't made a decision yet because they're still really balancing things out. Oh god. And I do think they're worried about other stuff right now because, well, they are really trying to be worried about anything else than your relationship anyway. But they do know, they do tend to do something really surprising, like out of the blue, like something that will rock your world. Like surprising you. And I do think part of it is not necessarily planning to surprise you, but they will end up doing something really impulsively or not really thought out, and boom. So I think they try to plan it out, but they will just come abruptly without them even agreeing to their own action. Like they will just act on their own and be like, what, why did I do that? So yeah, your person is really the kind to usually reflect a lot, but then they are so nervous with this connection, they will just do something impulsively and they will come out of the blue. And I don't think I got a precise timing with the ones there in the tower. I do feel it's more a question of feeling the right energy that will make them act on it. So the timing is sudden at some point at the right time, because divine timing is like that, you know. And I do think if you want further confirmation about if it's your pile, I do think you're quite the gentle kind of person. You do are worried as well, because you wouldn't be there if it wasn't about not being worried, you know. But I do feel you are a really kind soul, and you're just worried about this person at some point, like you really care for them. Not just for their relation, but maybe they have confessed it wasn't going too well in their life, and they suddenly disappeared, and you were like, ugh, like what happened? I do think you don't reach them out that much, or you didn't try to reach them out that much either. For most of you, not for a lot of you, but some of you did try to get answers from them, but didn't get much, and they went hot and cold. With the High Priestess as the general energy, I just feel you, like I said, you have a hard time telling what's going on because you lack information. And if you wanted more information about them, I just think they're distracting themselves a lot. I don't think they are looking a lot into other kind of relationship, if you were wondering about that. I do think they're more into their projects and doing stuff with their friends and doing like typical stuff, like doing their day-to-day life really in almost predictable fashion. But when they're alone with themselves, I do think this feelings and their thoughts are really struggling, and I do think they're distracting for most of you because and they are keeping themselves on the move. I do think they might be the kind to be a charmer as well, so they might be flirting a bit if they encounter some other woman or man, but I don't think they're engaging that much, to be honest. I don't feel that. I do feel you really rocked their world, pile 3, and it really started to question them in some manner, even though they really try to avoid that questioning. A part of them want to come back to you and want to be nicer to you. I do think they would like to keep contact at some point, but they don't know how without being always threatened or pursuing something more serious with you. I just think like they might have tell you they weren't really seeking, or maybe yes they were, didn't want a family or stuff like that, but they weren't really actively seeking for that or were more preoccupied with other kind of stuff. But now they're worried about it because like, well, I do have a great opportunity. Do I really miss on that? Will I really miss on that? Will I really pass on that? Don't think they will. I don't think they want to. But I do think you have a question of divine timing here, so I will go forward with your advice because in any case with the lover reversed and this connection, you still feel it even if it's reversed. I do feel like you feel the connection, but you're not in the same 3D. In the 3D world you're disconnected, but in 5D there's a connection that has been made. And even if the force of one is reversed there, it really feels like, because it lacks the ground to put the foundation is not stable yet. There's still a lot of water under. With the moon and the King of Cups, there's a lot of water under the ground and makes the ground way too shaky. You need for those emotions to pour out of the ground and not be kept there so you can build something on it. It's quite recent, or for some of you it feels like it's been 2 months since they haven't talked to you. I think for most of you it's not a long no contact situation, but not long. I mean 2 months can be long, or 2, 3, 4, around those water. For the longer people it might be more than that, of course. It's a general reading. But I do feel it's quite a recent ghosting. For some of you, of course, you do see them sometimes, but yeah, you do see them go or do some stuff, but you don't approach them, they don't approach you. They don't have time, I feel, anyway, and you don't either. For most of you, you're quite young for most of you, early 20s. Not all of you, of course not. But the majority of people coming here, the main message is resonating for those people. So advice, the spirit, to help pile 3 go through this really, really pleasing no contact situation. I feel you, pile 3. Well, with the bottom being don't let your past hold you and look at the bigger picture, those advices, I already went through that kind of situation, so rest, happiness, cleans. With anger at the bottom, energy, yeah, oh god, okay. The advices for you, pile 3, is quite clear. Hold your vision and confidence is your key to success, seems to be the most revealing of your advice. Keep connecting with this vision that you and this person will meet again, reunite in some kind of fashion. I can't tell if you will be in a relationship, of course. It depends for each of you. If it's a toxic kind of person and they keep being toxic, I wouldn't recommend trying to be in any kind of relationship with them, even as friends. But I don't think it's that this person is that much an unhealthy person. But they have still a lot of work to do with those rest and emotions are running high. Be confident. This person is feeling their feels a lot. They're really, the moon here is really devastating them from inside. They really aren't at peace with the situation. They really are worrying about you quite often, I would say. Maybe they can have some thought of you each day, and then they distract themselves because they don't want to think about you too much because of the other stuff they keep themselves occupied with. But the spirit is just telling you, just rest and be happy, like do your best life, really do your stuff, and be confident in this situation because everything is planned in some fashion. You do have to meet this person again, or this person will come back to you again because they have things to solve, and you are the key to those solutions. And I do think for most of you, this person wants to grow or is interested in understanding their feeling. Might not show in the reading like that, but I do feel their higher self seems to be the kind to push them to really do better. So even if their 3D is not at the same extent of their higher self, I do feel their higher self is really like pushing them toward this direction anyway and taking care of a lot of stuff there. They do recommend you to cleanse yourself, and there is anger there in the bottom in energy. So for some people, I do feel you're mad at this situation because you could have felt disrespected by their ghosting. And I mean, it's normal. It's disrespect. I think for some of you, they might have been disrespectful in the way they have done it. Maybe they told you were too sensitive or too pure or too naive or something like that, and you were like, really, dude? No, don't call me that. And just cleanse that energy. I mean, it's a reflection of them in any way because they are dealing with a lot of stuff there, and I do think they feel naive to fall for you so easily. They feel dumb to have fallen for you so easily. Like they feel the way they told you were. So they have to deal with that. And you have to cleanse yourself. You do have to take time for you, clear up any negative energy, to just really clean any energy that prevents you from your happiness. Though I will precise, if you're feeling any kind of disagreeable emotion, it's not to avoid those emotions, it's to go through those emotions. If you feel anger, you need to take the time to see what you need to do to respect your boundaries. If it's in this situation or somewhere else in your life, you need to take the time to go through your feelings and listen to them to get your needs met anyway. Pile 3. And with the don't let your past hold your back and look at the bigger picture. Like, you might have gone through bad experiences, but don't let them hold you. Don't let it get to you, because this is a different situation, and spirit is telling you shouldn't apply what you know to this situation because it's a new kind of situation. It might surprise you in how it will unfold. This is why you need to look at the bigger pictures and look in other ways on how it can play, and you need to look that your life is not defined only by this relationship. There's much more out there that you don't know about this person or what they're going through, with the High Priestess reverse here. And also there's just much more around, and spirit has planned other stuff for you meanwhile they are dealing with their own crap. So yeah, so I think that's it for you, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't resonate, you can always go watch another pile. They were pretty different from this one, to be honest. Or watch another reading. This is what I will do personally, and go see a reading where they can talk about what's next in this connection. But I do think for now you should just focus on you and take care of yourself, because spirit is already doing everything they need to place. I think for now it's on them and the work they have to do internally, and they need to do through that anyway before coming back, or else it will create more problems, and it won't be happy for you, and it might ruin, not necessarily ruin your life, but they might bring bad shit into your life if they don't go through that. So just let them go, let them do their stuff and do your own, and it will just come around at the perfect moment. So yeah, that's what I had for you, pile 3. So now it's really the end of this reading, so thank you for watching. Maybe see you another time and have a good day. So bye bye.